There you go.
Thank you. Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Angel. I'm the founder of Magic Kid and also the NASA Space App Challenging local lead. But for the previous years, I have been the winners team's mentor. I'm very happy to join the meeting today to have some introduction about this amazing, the biggest hackathon on the earth with everyone here today.
That's right. Welcome. My name is Matt, and I started with being a local lead back in 2021, and along with Angel here, we wanted to answer a lot of the questions and just get everyone up to speed on what's going to be happening with space apps. And as we continue with this briefing, we have another couple of briefings as well to kind of highlight different things. So I'll go ahead and take over here.
Oh, so let's look at 3 meetings first. So we are going to have 3 different brief meeting for different timing. So the first meeting is today now. So we are going to talking about some basic knowledge about space app challenging, including some very detailed step-by-step, hands-by-hands introduction, like how to use the official website, how to register, and how to join a local, and how to form a team. And we're gonna talking about some past award winning works, and also there are some question about how to choose the very good challenging for my team. And also at the last of today's meeting, we are going to recommend some skill to learn for making a good app challenging in the future. So this is today's meeting arrangement. And then for the next one meeting, it will be next week, will be September 28th. Also the same time, 7 p.m. EDT and 9 p.m. CDT, and also 10 p.m. East Coast. I'm so sorry for East Coast friends, and you can also go through the video in your free time. And then in that meeting, we are going to focus on something like a difference from the previous years. So you need to really focus on. And also we're gonna introduce our local judge for Dallas and other locals, because Magic Kid actually has a local lead of several locations from Chino Hills, Irvine, and San Marino, and Dallas. Also, we are going to give you some team building tips through the whole competitions. And also we'll give you very, very useful submission guidelines and some tips. And it's very important thing, like I think for the next time brief meeting will be how to create a great video for your application. That's something we're gonna talk for the next time. And the last time, just like before the real hackathon, we are going to focus on how to arrange in that 2 days time management tips. And also we will give you some submission suggestions, and we'll also share with you how the local lead team and how the NASA judges are going to judging all the applications and how will they give the award. So that will be the last meeting. So please pay attention of all the time, and also let's welcome Matt to take over from me to kick off today's briefing.
All right. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and share my screen too. So yeah, welcome once again to our first meeting here. This is basically a welcome meeting, and I just want to start us off with a couple cool facts about space apps. So last year, in 2022, Space Apps welcomed 31,561 registrants, and that was across 162 countries and territories. And of course, the whole point of the Space Apps is using that open data from NASA. And last year they had 11 partner space agencies. This year it's 13. It's pretty exciting. And last year they tackled 22 different challenges and produced 3,094 projects. It's amazing. And this year is going to be even more, I bet. So we're really excited to see what comes out. All right. So that, as you all know, the Space Apps is going to be happening on the weekend of 7th and 8th of October. And we have all these 13 space agencies that are connected. So which is really cool, because a lot of the challenges, as we'll see a little bit later, often will refer to data not collected just only from NASA, but from other partner agencies. This is really exciting. All right, so as Angel mentioned, that today is going to be kind of getting through some of the basics. So I'll just go through quickly the agenda. We're using, going to show you guys how to use the official Space Apps website, and also some registration guidelines, how to join a location or form a team, and take a look at some past award-winning works, and take a look at those challenges this year, and how to analyze challenges, and also ending with recommended skills to learn. So let's go ahead and get
Yes,
started.
Matt.
Yeah. What was that?
So for the project, we already prepared some very good videos for go through all the winners project before. So that's a news for you.
All right. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at the official website. All right, so I'll go ahead and get out of this full screen here, and let's jump on over to the website. So we have a spaceappschallenge.org, and right now you can sign up. So right here I'm logged in, but let me go ahead and sign out for a second so you can see what it looks like when you first arrive. So take a look at this website. There's a lot of great information on here. You can kind of scroll through, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of the important things. The first thing is, of course, to sign up. That's how they are going to be able to contact you. That's how you're going to create your account. So let's take a look at that process in just a general sense on that. So if I click on sign up here, we have several different fields that we'll have to fill in. Our full name, a username that's gonna be on the website to be able to log in. Your email, so they send you the current email updates along with what's happening or new things that are coming out. The password to log in, of course, and also this important avatar. So my avatar is a Magic Kid logo, but we do recommend, as it says here, to use ones that you have the rights to use for the image. So no, that means if you, no using copyrighted images like Mickey Mouse or something like that. You can either be a picture of you, or a picture of you drawn of yourself is always a fun one too. But remember, this stuff is going to be on the website. So you want to be as professional as possible, because as time goes on, you want to make sure to be able to look back, and you'll always see your projects up there. It's going to be exciting. Then it asks, of course, where you're from, and you just select that country, so they know which countries are participating this year. And the terms and conditions. Now, there's one thing I did want to point out in the terms and condition, and that is if you are a student, you have to have your parent or guardian sign up for you. So that's one of the things they mentioned. There is no age limit per se, but for signing up for the website, you do have to have a parent or a guardian to help with that. So I won't go through all this because it's a lot of great information about kind of what is happening with space apps and how those projects are going to be shown to everyone. And that was pretty much it. I think that was the last field. Just the last one was a little captcha there. So that is the basics of signing up. Now, if you have your account, that's great. If you have, and this is something that's new, they put a little alert up here as well. But if you participated last year, you still have to reset your password. That's because they've updated the website. So even though like last year I had my account, I had to reset my password to reset up with their new website, because they've updated a lot of things this year. So just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah, one thing I just want to mention about your name and your picture, that's very important, because you say that's on website and it could be lasting with your project, but you didn't really realize it will be lasting for a very long time, because this is NASA official website. So until today, you can go back to 12 years to look into all the resistance project with their name and their pictures. So sometimes if you are free to put any pictures or some name, but don't put really silly things you don't want to look back. Okay, just make sure that's a good name and a good picture for you.
That's a great tip. The other thing I did want to mention too is the local events. So I'll just kind of briefly mention this. Let me go ahead and log in so you can kind of see what I mean here. And there it is. Sorry, mine's already there, ready to go. But even if you're not logged in, you can still see this at the top of the screen here on the this Explore the Hackathon. There's a couple different things here. First one's register. Of course, if you're registered, like I already have, this is still a great place to kind of see upcoming dates. So up until recently, the Explore Challenges, this came out, I believe, just a few days ago. So this is now available now. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you can see here that they are noting that on September 26th, team formation opens. And also the Space Apps Connect, how you can chat with other space apps users, and then later on be able to connect to people at NASA to ask those questions of the chosen challenge you chose. And of course, those important dates, the dates you're actually doing all the work on: October 7th and starting at 9 a.m. your local time, and ending on October 8th by 11:59 p.m. So those are some dates on there, but let me get back to this really quick. The thing you want to keep in mind is this local events. Now, if you haven't done Space Apps before, what this is it's a way for you to connect with your local area. For example, if you're in Dallas, for example, and you want to connect to the local hosts for Dallas, well, that would be us. So we have, you can look for us in here. And of course, there's many other cities available as well. There's also, if you're not near any of those, there's also the Universal event, which is one that's just for everybody. But keep in mind that in any of these events, it's about the judges for the location. So to find out more information about the location, you can actually just type it in. So if I type in Dallas here, I can get to it, and you can see the information here, and you'll be able to have a button that'll say to sign up with that location. Mine looks a little bit different, but you'll be able to read some information. I won't go through a lot of this information because it'll be updated all the time. But take a look at your local location and get signed up, so that we can get that news and that information from the local event. Oh yeah, Angel, yeah.
Yes, for this part, I would like to mention this actually page, when we update it, approved by NASA every time. So just everything put here, that means something. So you can look into it. But it's not easy for updates sometimes. Please let us know if you have more questions. Just feel free to contact us by email or just by phone. And I know that every year we answer lots of questions about the Space App Challenge, especially the last 2 days during the competition. I remember last time we answered question until 3 a.m. in the morning that day. So we totally understand this. So but we just try to make things as clear as possible for you. So let us know if you really need help. So now in the meeting, you can just put your questions in the chat, and we are going to answer it at last. And also if you really need help, so also let your local need know. Not only for this location like Dallas, but also in other magic locations. And I think in all the locations, the local leader will very happy to help people understand this hackathon and join the hackathon. Yeah.
That's right. It helps divide up the work, and also by participating in a local event, you'll be able to have that direct faster communication, as Angel mentioned. The last thing I wanted to mention here too, of course, is the challenges. So I'll just kind of take a quick peek here. If I click on the challenges, as I mentioned, on September 19th, they released the challenge, like the full challenges. They released actually this kind of like a little summary, but you'll notice that I can actually click on any of these and to kind of look at them. So that's the next thing I wanted to get to in just a moment about that. Before I do that, though, I don't want to lose track. I want to make sure I cover all the things I mentioned. All right, yeah, so I mentioned that. And there's a couple other questions that come up around, how this works. So I just want to kind of mention those. There is actually a frequently asked questions section as well. So if I go back to this site here for a second, there is a great participant frequently asked questions that they put up, and that answers a lot of detailed questions. But I did want to highlight a couple of them to make sure everyone is aware of them. So the first question it's kind of just a general question, but this often it gets asked each year. Regardless of when your team forms, participants are not permitted to start working on their solutions until the Space Apps event begins on October 7th, and it ends on the 8th at 9 a.m. So keep this in mind. This is something that you're free to look at the challenges, kind of read the information, kind of review all that. But don't start working on it until the actual time, because that's what the whole thing's about. The purpose of a hackathon is to create something on that weekend. The second question here is it was related to that. Can they start working on as soon as they're published, because they're published now? But as they mentioned here, that they appreciate the enthusiasm, but they want to make sure that they start the actual work on October 7th. Once again, I just want to reiterate that because it's something they often repeat. Regarding teams, the teams are going to be, as I mentioned, happening on September 26th. So right now, if you go to the website, you might be wondering, how do I sign up for a team? Well, you can't yet. That feature is not activated. So, but what you can do is if you already have some friends who are interested, or as Angel mentioned, maybe you're at a local lab and you have some other students that you each have different skills, that you can start connecting. But of course, you can't sign up officially as a group until the 26th, when NASA releases that ability on the website. So right now you won't see anything. There's no little extra tab. They'll note it as well. Once you're signed up, you'll see it and you'll get an email, I believe, as well. But that date that they posted is September 26th. So keep an eye out for that. And that's just in next week. So as it says here too, a max member, a group of 6. So you can't have like a huge group, but you don't want to make sure that, you know, everyone's working well together on that. And there's only one person that's needed to sign up the team. So if you start, you know, if you have a team already in mind and there's 6 of you, you don't all have to go sign up a team. One person is going to be like the team lead that kind of sets it up, and then everyone will join using a special code. So we'll review this a little bit more next week when we can actually see it, because right now you can't really join or see it in it yet. So, but I just know from previous years that's what's happened. So I just wanted to alert everyone on how that works.
Not this year. Every year, the participants feel very frustrating and confusing about this process, because it seems like when you join, it seems you need a team, but it actually tell you can have a team or you can join others' team, and this process will not be open until 26. So we already received a lot of this questions, so please notice about this important date. So yeah, and until that day, you can either form a team or join others' team, and then your team will choose a challenge to submit your solution. Yeah, that's the process.
That's right. And the reason they wait till the 26th is because they want to make sure that that chat is available. So if someone joins and doesn't know anybody or doesn't have a team, they can actually see which teams are being, you know, are looking for members. And so that's when you can kind of, you know, get to know the team a little bit, say what you can bring to the table, you know, like what you specialize in or what you might be able to help out with for that team. So that way the teams can start doing creating a group that's as best they can, that can work well together and also have different strengths. That way they can all do things. So not everybody is a video editor, you know, something like that. You know, we'll make sure that everyone has lots of different things they can do, but having one person focus on it, but be able to work as that group. So it's something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, but this part is not easy if you don't really know each other, because you just see a name and see just an email or something. So you can either email them or you can do another thing. Wait until NASA will open an official. Last time is a chatting platform. So people can talk with each other, and they will have a group set up there, a channel. So it used to be like a Slack, and then turns into the other one. So this year they didn't announce that one, but later I believe they will announce a chatting group, so you can really meet somebody. And if you need a team or team member, you can just announce in that group, and you can find somebody near you. Yeah, that's how this works. Still, it didn't open until now.
Well, we have to wait just a few more days, and we don't know what it's going to look like either. It's, as Angel mentioned, last year was Slack, year before was their own platform, and I think they're going back to their own platform or modified. I'm not really sure, so we'll find out together what's going to happen after the 26th. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look here at some previous winners. So the first two I want to kind of highlight here are ones that Magic Kid. So when we first tried this out in 2021, one of our teams won a global, became a global winner, which is amazing. Out of all the thousands of teams, there's only a top 10 global winners in different categories, and our team, 4 Seeds, won. We'll take a look at what that looks like. And also we had a global finalist honorable mention, which is also really high honor as well. So let me go ahead and head on over to our website so you can at least see kind of what this looks like. And then we have a couple videos and these videos are short, and that's the purpose of these videos, to be able to let the judges know in a brief moment with 30 seconds, actually, what your plan is about and like what happens in it. So, so let me just go ahead and point out those ones here. So I'm going to jump over to 4C, just kind of quickly skim the page. All this is on the website here. And as Angel said, they go back all the different years. So this is the 2021. All that information is still up there of which teams and what their submission was and everything. So, so this is 4Seeds, and I won't go through a lot of detail. We'll kind of talk about that. As you can kind of review it yourself actually. But the different pages, they might be looking a little bit different, but they ask the same types of information about the challenge and how your team sees this challenge. Like, what is it that you do, as well as a demo or a video, or they said or slides, but we usually recommend videos because you can show things while talking. So let me just show their video here so everyone can see what this looks like. And this will explain what it is, what their project was. When it loads.
Have a video here, so you don't need to wait here. So we already prepared a video.
Scientists.
Oh, sorry. What was that, Angel?
So I mean, I can play video here easily because
Perfect.
we prepare each winner's project already. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll stop sharing.
Allow me share screen.
Sometimes YouTube is a little trying to share on Zoom is a little tricky.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Welcome to the NASA Space Apps Challenge Magic Kit Winner Series. In this episode, we're going to feature 4Seeds. 4Seeds was a project submitted by Magic Kit students that won Galactic Impact in 2021. 2 members of this project were even invited to NASA headquarters in March 2023 to give a speech at the winners panel.
But also, I think it had more impact on my learning process. It made me fall in love with research and topics that I really wanted to know about.
Now let's look at Team 4Seeds projects.
We named our model Infinite Pod. It creates opportunities for space travel with continuously regrowable crop capsules.
Team 4Seeds' final submission also integrated a lot of skills they learned at Magic Kit, such as 3D modeling, using Vex IQ to make parts of their model, website design, as well as thoroughly conducted research as to how their project connects to astronaut space lives. As a project that introduces agricultural techniques such as hydroponics into the space life future, 4Seeds' impact is immenseful. And this is just one example of how Magic Kit's creativity lead to more real-life solutions.
Okay, this is the first one, and Matt, I would like mention the project team leader Helen is here now, and he can say hi with everyone. And Helen, where are you? Can you show? Yeah, please unmute yourself.
Hello, I'm Helen from 4Seeds. Yeah.
Yes. Can you welcome these participators here?
Yeah. Welcome everyone. This year, I saw some of the challenges, and it's going to be very interesting and fun. And I'll be following up with the competition itself. So I'm excited to see what everyone has to come up with.
Yeah, as a previous winner, NASA Space Apps Challenge, they did have a rule that's like if you already got the top award, like top 10 of the world, so they may not really considering give you the second big award again. So
Yeah.
you are going to help all the local participators this year, right?
Yes, I'm kind of like unofficial, like volunteer event coordinator type of thing. Yeah.
Thank you, Helen. See you in the next meeting. Thank you.
All right, good luck, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Matt, next one, please.
All right, great. So let me go ahead and jump back to the screen here. All right, so 4Seeds, as was mentioned, it they got the Galactic Impact Award, and then the other one I wanted to highlight is the global finalist. Now, what's really neat about, and this is why I wanted to highlight this one especially, because they didn't have something that was related to programming necessarily. So even though it's called Space Apps Challenge, that's actually grown from that. It's no longer just apps. Sometimes it's app concepts. You don't have to have a fully working app. A lot of the winners from last year had lots of different types of things. And this one here, they actually created a board game, which is a really cool concept. It was all about creating a game and talking about space challenges. So I just want to kind of show a couple of these pictures here. They actually have a nice video that kind of goes through it. But you can see that they actually created a board game based on their ideas. So so keep in mind that you don't have to feel, oh, I don't know a lot of programming. Well, you don't have to know a lot of programming, to be able to showcase your idea. There's lots of different challenges that we'll take a look at, that are here. And it's all about sharing the idea of what you have and figuring out how to explain how your little twist on it and how to incorporate information from all the different partner space agencies.
Yeah, let's see the video together about this board game project.
Magic is Space App's winter series, Team Social Spacing. Social Spacing was a project submitted in the 2021 NASA Space App Challenge and won as global finalists with honorable mentions. They tackled the problem of exploring space through a board game. Let's take a look at their game trailer.
Have you ever wanted to travel to different planets?
Okay, well, I always have. Hi, we're the Social Spacing team, and we've taken on the challenge, Space Quest, the game. We have solved this challenge by creating a fun educational game called Spazio.
Spazio is a board game where players race through the galaxy on a scavenger hunt. The objective of the game is to be the first to explore and retrieve data from all the planets in the solar system and return to Earth.
They used the Magic green screen software to edit their own game designs. With this fun, interactive, and visualized way to explore the solar system, Team Social Spacing's project can motivate and attract more young audiences to explore the solar system. And that is just one of the many ways Magic's creativity lead to more real-life solutions.
That's super cool, but maybe something even more cool, because just 2 weeks ago I met with these three kids again. So they're already in high school, and we have a discussion about how to make this project into a real life. So we're going to really print out this board game and put in all the Magic labs. So they are very excited and they're prepared about this. And also one of the boys I just mentioned, the first one jumped into the movie, and he actually after this competition, he really feel lots of interesting about making movie, use this technology ways. So I just noticed that he has his own YouTube channel and with hundreds of followers, subscriptions already, and he did a lot of amazing videos. Very cool. Yeah, so that's something you can learn and have fun in the hackathon and really help your whole life. Okay, next one, Matt, please.
All right, that's so exciting. I'm so glad to hear that. All right, so so that was in 2021, and last year we continued with participating. We actually had a lot more Magic Kid labs get involved, and so a lot more students. And one of those students came up with this project, and this is a really cool one too. And this team also won an honorable mention, which once again is a great honor. So let me go ahead and just jump to their project here, and this is all about the Jovian system with Jupiter. So and here they are here. I always want to pronounce it wrong here. Team Meowshins. So and they here was the challenge over here. What how to show the information that's coming from the pictures of Jupiter, basically. And they talked about their project in detail, once again using Vex Robotics, some tools they're already familiar with, creating a model. They have lots of different parts to this, so that's something you see often with these projects. They have lots of different parts, which is a lot of great ideas, that are all connected. So this is one aspect of it. And then their part two is a fashion show, and this is where they use some more green screen technology to be able to showcase their ideas on how they could incorporate this along with their family. So it's a lot of fun on that project there. All right. Do we have a video for that? Oh, that awesome. I was just about to ask. Okay. Oh, go ahead and restart that for us, Angel. There you go. We'll get you unmuted there.
By combining fashion, robot engineering, as well as green screen technology.
Before we started making the globe, we watched a documentary video on YouTube VR. We thought it was very cool how Jupiter looked with several colorful stripes rotating at different speeds in opposite directions. It's easy to build an earth using freewares to apply colors to the raw images. Then we could simply focus on our artistic showcase.
Team Meow Team use many skills that they learned from Magic Kit lessons, such as building models with Vex IQ parts. They also dressed in fashionable green and used green screen apps to portray their fashionable visualization of the Jovian system. Team Meow Team's visualization of Jupiter brings a fashionable, refreshing perspective to learn from. And that is just one of the many ways how Magic Kit's creativity leads to more real-life solutions.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I try to share some good story behind the scenes. So I mean, in the Washington trip in March, several months ago, when we met with the NASA headquarters Go team about who running the whole SpaceX challenging, they told me that they really enjoy watching the video of this team, and one of the judges see the video, and she just jumped up from the chairs and call out all the judges together to, you guys must see this video. This is really something fun, fashion, and amazing. This is something really different from most of the technology ways, but it's also use technology, but it's really cool. So which means like you can really use a lot of imagination and creativity in the competitions and the challenges here. I'm very happy can have our Magic Kid girls did that great job.
Very exciting. All right, let me go ahead and jump back to our slides here. So yeah, so that was some of the Magic Kid teams. And of course, it's not just Magic Kid that wins. There's lots of different types of winners and different types of things that that you'll see. So one of the things that we always recommend is taking a look at some of the more recent winners. You know, you can always go back, as Angel mentioned, for previous years and see all the winners going back all the way to the beginning. But if I jump back to their website here, let me just go ahead and do that on this page. At the very bottom of the page here, they actually highlight the winners from last year. So what's really cool about this is you can really see the variety of types of things there, and also and because each section has different you know, things they're looking for in those different categories, and of course these are all different, pulled from several different challenges. Actually, there's a couple challenges that were the same that won, but they presented their ideas in different ways, and they each had something amazing to show. So by clicking on any of these ones down here at the bottom, I can jump to them. So for example, if I you know, go to this one here, I can jump to, this is a Earth, Wind, and Flare, and this team here was all about showing information from the Parker Solar Probe. So and once again, you see all the same information on all these pages. We always recommend to take a look at past winners and see, well, you know, and think, well, why did they win? You know, what is it that they presented? Did they present lots of different ideas in a very cohesive way? It's very easy to understand. Their video, you know, or slides or whatever it is they're showing is very concise and also informative. And of course, all the things that NASA wants is there. You can see all these, any of these examples. So all these pages from all these winners will have all this information on there. You can review and take a look on how they did it, and think, well, why did they win? So that's something that we definitely want to point out on all these different teams, that on those global winners. Always taking a look at the previous year. All right, so that brings us to the challenges.
Yes, that's.
Oh yeah.
I think that's very important to just look at this project, as you said, and that's how we start every year's hackathon.
That's right. We always take a look at previous year's winners, and also not just the top winners, but how, you know, different levels as well. Because you know, yes, it's nice to get the top 10, but even you know, a global mention or even winning at your local event is something also amazing, right? You're always showcasing your best, and there's a lot of fun things that can come from that. As Angel mentioned, you know, teams will continue, and it's exciting to see how that happens. So the challenges that they had in previous years, the number has been kind of fluctuating. Last year it was about 22. This year the number went up. It's actually 30 this time. And so let's take a look here at how you can take a look at those challenges, what information's on them, and also how you can kind of narrow those down. All right, so let me go ahead and close out a couple of my little tabs here. All right, so I'm gonna jump back to main website here because it's taking me back in time to a few years ago. All right, here we go. So if I want to take a look at these challenges, whether I'm logged in or not, I can actually go right to this tab here, the Explore the Hackathon, and go right down to the challenges. And they have a great filtering system because there's, it says 31 challenges, but it's really 30 because one of them is a choose your own. But keep in mind, if you do that choose your own, NASA doesn't really judge it like the others. So we always recommend, choosing one that NASA has already outlined. And there's a lot of great tags to be able to see this really quickly. Instead of, if you're trying to get to one really quickly, you can see they have a lot of different types of tags. They have ones that are that they think are good for beginner or youth or intermediate or advanced, and different subjects as well. So whether it's the arts, astrophysics, climate, etc., you can kind of narrow it down that way, which is a great way to kind of get to them later on. However, we do recommend that you read all of them. At least read the summary, the summaries here, because the summaries are going to be give you a little bit of an idea of which ones are you gravitating towards, which ones are you interested in. Some, maybe if they talk a lot about big data, you're like, nah, I don't know if I want to do that one. But maybe you're like, oh, I really like this, or I have an idea for this one. That'd be interesting to kind of look into. So we always recommend read all of them, narrow down your top few, and then start looking into those in a little bit more in detail. So and then there's so many great ones, as was mentioned before. So I'm gonna so here's the one that create your own. I'm gonna skip that one, but let's go ahead and jump up to let's see. I'll go with Artemis here. Okay, so this is Artemis 2 and you. So Artemis 1, launched recently. Artemis 2 is next, and this one is all about the first mission to send a woman, person of color, and Canadian to lunar space. All right, so your challenge is this, and they have a brief synopsis of what that challenge is. Create a short video on the development of the Artemis 2 mission and how it's impacting you and your community wherever you may be. And then they go into more detail. And this is what's really cool. Now that this information is released, they're going to give you even more detail of what exactly they're looking for, or kind of give you some guidelines on places to go, some resources to pull from. So just as an example, this is something that you would look through on your top one. Let's say you looked through them and you saw this one, you were interested, you would start reading the background information about why this challenge is so important, or why it's chosen as one of the 30 challenges this year. The objective of what it is that you're supposed to be doing. In this one, they have a very exact thing of to make a brief video about that communicates how Artemis 2 is impacting your community. And then this is all very important too, the considerations, things that kind of narrow down, maybe what they're more precisely looking for. So all this information is going to be different for each challenge, but it's all information that's going to be helpful for you and your team to be able to decide which challenge you're going to tackle together, because you can only choose one, and what NASA is looking for specifically. As it says down here, they all do this, that there is a resources tab that'll get you to some suggested resources. Remember, all of these space apps challenges you need to relate to some data from either NASA or one of the 13 space agency information up there. So they have a lot of great resources already. They've highlighted some links, some videos. Here's some stuff from the Canadian Space Agency, some information. So you could review this and kind of deciding, oh, there's a lot, I'm getting a lot of ideas from this, and that one might be one of your top ones. That way, when you start meeting with your group might have a few of them in mind, and you can all narrow down the possibilities and pick that one challenge that you're going to tackle this year. So all of this information, it will be something that you are going to mention when you fill out that form. As you saw, those previous winners, they always have the same types of information. So taking a look at that, you'll see the pattern of all the information that NASA is going to be asking in that final form that you are uploading and publishing to the site, which is how you submit. And that final submission, it has to be in by that deadline. So no changes afterwards, right? You have to have everything linked properly and everything, and make sure that there's lots of details to think about, like make sure your video, if it's in YouTube, that it's public. You don't want to accidentally put a private one in there. That type of information, you want to make sure all that's ready to go. So that's something that you can do now that they've released all this information. You can go through all of these ones, figure out which ones you're narrowing down, make some notes on some ideas you might have. kind of think about which one really you could really excel at, right? So that's something to kind of narrow down as well. And when it comes to like taking notes too, there's a lot of different ways people do it, but I like to take notes in different ways and sometimes sketch out ideas. Remember, this isn't the moment to work on all these projects. It is a moment to be thinking about what it is that this project that is here, and of course all these ideas will be discussed on the actual day, right? So so we're not working on it, but we are reviewing the stuff that they have and getting excited for that one special challenge that you're excited about. So that's something that I wanted to kind of highlight as well. All right, now when it comes to recommended skills, we kind of mentioned this earlier. There's a lot of different things that you'll be needing to know. And here's just a few of them. And in fact, I'll probably add some more to this list as we go along. First of all, as I mentioned before, you want to kind of keep an eye on the type of content that's needed. You're going to need someone to, you and your team are going to have to fill out all that information that NASA requires, a lot of things to type. But also, relating the information. There's a lot of research that has to happen, a lot of keeping track of, your ideas and outlining your ideas, and also talking about where your ideas can go. It goes on and on and on about, the types of things that you need. So take a look at those previous years and see, what those patterns are and that information that you're going to need to know. You can start now by practicing your note taking. You don't have to, once again, don't work on this year's challenge, but if you want to do some practice, maybe pick a challenge from last year and practice what it's like to go through the process of writing down your notes and, and figuring out how you're going to store that, how you're going to share that, that type of information. And also practice a video from last year or a year before. Choose another challenge from the past and just practice. Okay, I want to make. I see a lot of these videos. They show a lot of information. There's a voiceover. How can I make that myself? How can we create a video that's going to explain an idea? All right. So getting a practice, once again, not on this year's challenge, but on a previous year is a great practice. That way, you'll at least have tried it out and know what type of apps you're going to use, that type of thing for this upcoming year. And once again, just another reminder, I know I keep saying it again and again, but the team registration is going to open next week. This September 26th is the date they've advertised. So that is when you'll see that team part. So just kind of keep it in the back of the mind, or your back of your mind. If you don't know, what team you're going to join, still narrow down which ones you're interested in. Now you can kind of connect with those teams that are also interested in those challenges, and then find out which one you match with, and be ready to make sure that that when September 26th hits, you already have a general idea, and you start narrowing it down with your chosen team, and getting all those little things out of the way, which we'll talk a little bit more next week. What you can do beforehand, things like team name and a picture, about your team. These are things that aren't connected to the challenge themselves, but you do need to have, so you can do those. There's a few things you can do right now. So just to kind of take a look at what this timeline looks like. As Angel mentioned, we have several different meetings here. We actually have another one too. I think it was on the 5th. So we have a couple meetings beforehand that count down to 9 a.m. on your local area. So for example, in Dallas, it's going to be a few hours earlier than on the Los Angeles, or like the Pacific Coast or something like that. But it's the time when you start in that time zone and the time it ends in that time zone. So that way it keeps everybody, they only have the same amount of time. They say 48 hours, but it's actually a little bit less than 48 hours, and you're sleeping, right? So part of it. So it's actually, these hackathons are a great way to quickly showcase your idea, and don't worry about perfection, which we'll talk more about next time too. So as I kind of mentioned before, there's some things you can do now, right? Read all those challenges and choose your favorite, or at least narrow it down. If you do already know your team members, you can already start brainstorming your idea. 4 Seeds was chosen because it was connected to their challenge that they chose, which was all about seeds, planting seeds in space. So they, chose their name that related to their topic. That actually happens quite often. We do want to also mention that you want to choose a name that you're gonna like because it's gonna be there for years and years. So you don't want to choose something too goofy and weird because it's something that will be looked at years down the road. As mentioned, we can go back all the way on the Space App's website and see all the way back to the very first submission. So all those really kind of goofy names that they chose, they might regret it. So don't choose those goofy names. Do something a little bit more professional, but you still have fun with it. But keep it. We always recommend keep it professional. And there's other things too related to the formatting of the website, what it's requiring. Of course, we talked about like your profile picture, and you will have to have like a team logo kind of. That 4 Seeds had one, and the other ones they would use sometimes the portraits of themselves or whatever it is. You can start thinking about what it is your team might share. That's not related to the challenge necessarily, but it's more about keeping those things ready to go, so that way you can focus on the things that on the actual event, like what is actually needed for the challenge itself. And in the meantime, practice making those animations or slideshows, using those tools, practicing the nuances of the different tools that you're familiar with already. And that way you'll be able to showcase a final product with a little bit of experience of how to use those tools. And also same with video editing. If you've never done it before, even if you've never tried it, at least try a little bit of it. So there's lots of apps out there that make it really easy now. So kind of practice a little bit, and even if you aren't the main video editor, it helps you understand how the video is going to be pieced together and help to contribute when it comes to that part. So and that it would be things like storyboards, like writing out like little pictures. So these are things, once again, you can practice from years past and try it out from a challenge from last year or year before, and get those skills under your belt if you haven't done it before.
Yes, that's very useful information for all the teams for this period of time. So I think most like for new participators, you guys maybe feel very exciting for joining this competition. So it's a good timing for all the team members sit down together, do some review of the previous winners, and think about the team name, picture, time, or something. That will be still a lot of fun before you really join the real hackathon. So now it's a time for QA. So the first question we came from Wamsi Keys, yeah. So Wamsi tried to ask, it was said that max is 6 members in a team. That is including mentor or excluding, yeah.
All right, that's a great question. So the team is 6 members, and so this is something that you that might be maybe a little confusing. So the members are the people that are actually working on the project. Whereas a mentor is someone who's not working on the project, but is there to kind of bounce ideas off of, right? So for example, like at our Magic Kid Labs, we often have a staff member, working with a bunch of students, varying ages. As you saw, some of those projects, sometimes they're, middle school or high school or whatever, lots of different ages or elementary. So that group of people actually working on the project are the members of the project, right? The mentor is the one that they're presenting their ideas to make sure that they're doing everything, right? For example, and this isn't necessarily as a mentor, because I've done it several times myself. I'm not actually saying a lot. It's more of a focal point for the people working on the project to be able to explain their idea. Remember, this is something that judges are going to look at. And if you're having that practice of we're going to express our idea so it's understandable, that is the main point and the purpose of having a mentor, to be able to kind of help with that process, right? Be the listening ear and saying that didn't make any sense, or that's something that's interesting. I'd like to know more about that. Helps the teams kind of know, if they're missing some information, it will become apparent as they kind of present to you. So we'll talk about this in the next week or so. I think actually 2 weeks from now, we're going to talk more about like how you can manage your team. We'll get in a little bit more details on some, time frames and setting up mentor chats, kind of the thing. But that's the main purpose. However, if you are a mentor that's going to be more active, like more involved with the students, like maybe helping them type or that type of thing, especially if they're younger or don't have that experience, then you would want to become a team member at that point, because now you're participating in the actual work of the project, which is totally fine. There's no problem at all with mixed ages. In fact, that's a lot of the fun. Team 4Seeds had a wide variety. They had some middle schoolers. I think was the youngest, was it 7 years old? Is that right? Something like that. I think.
Years older, yeah. He
Yeah.
was bring to the headquarters as well, yeah. With
Yeah.
his father.
Yeah. So those type of different insights are always great to, if you do have mixed ages, that's totally fine. But if you are going to be participating a lot, then I would kind of make sure that team includes the mentor if they're really hands-on. But once again, it depends how you want to be doing it. But that's usually how we recommend it, is the mentor is the one that's kind of listening and providing that, kind of feedback. But I'm not really telling them what to do or stuff like that. It's more of, saying that part didn't make any sense, or, oh, you're missing some information here, that type of that thing. So that way I'm not really like doing it for them. It's just more an opportunity for the teams to be able to express their idea, because that's the whole point. They don't have to have a fully polished version, but they do have to have a way of explaining so people can understand their ideas. And that's what's really fun about the space apps. And you can see it in the past winners. Some are fully functioning projects, which is great. But there's also a lot of past winners that would talk about their project in a general, like in a sense, but not just general, but like specific ideas, as well as further ideas. So they outlined everything that was needed, talked about where it could go if they had more time and more resources. But getting all that information is the important part. So that was a great question, and that's something we'll reiterate again once we talk about it in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so Magic the Marino Lab, Mike is going to asking like, can we get access for this PowerPoint? So I think we can share the recording with everyone, but for we didn't really use this PowerPoint. It's like a Canva slides. So we're gonna share with our local lead only, because we need to changing something, sometimes add on something. So yeah, you can ask your local leader for more help. If you really a team from San Marino Lab, I think they will be very happy to help you about this more informations. And at the same time, I would like to mention some really useful website for you guys to look into. Of course, the first one is the Space App Challenging, their official website. So they contain all the informations, year's winners, and all the rules and the resource, so you can just have a look about all the details. Another very important thing is their YouTube channel. So Space App Challenging had their own very good YouTube channel, and it's contain a lot of different participants and winners of previous years. They will share their experience and share some useful information and tips with the new participators, which is, I think that's very good. And the third thing is like when you look into all the challenges already, although they didn't just release a lot of information or a lot of data, but you can use the keywords or just a title, look into NASA official website, and then you can find a lot of information like what this project's going on and what people are solving and what's the headache. So their headache thing probably will be this year's challenge for you. So NASA, they're very smart. They just like all the people helping them solve their problem in this way. So yeah, so that's something like a tips for like how you're gonna do some more researching to prepare this competition. And it's really happy to really have this kind of hackathon every year. For me, like personally, every year I also a lot of innovations from our students and also the whole world. People are going to like explore the space, use so many fun ways, so many creations. So that's good. So yeah, so and I think you are the same, Matt, right?
Absolutely. I'm always excited to hear new things about NASA, and I was excited to see what they chose for the challenges, because it usually reflects on current things that they're doing. I mean, NASA's doing a lot of stuff, right? They have a lot of things happening, but a lot of their challenges align with some of the missions that are current or upcoming. And we've at Magic have already been looking through a lot of that stuff this past year, and it's all exciting stuff. I mean, I'm like so excited to see what happens, and especially when it comes to these challenges, I'd like to see how different teams, like new ideas being shown. I just did want to share, as Angel mentioned, the YouTube. You can just search Space Apps Challenge on YouTube, and you'll see the Space Apps Challenge channel. And as was mentioned, there's lots of great like they have other tips in there. They have other things that they kind of mention as well. And it's always evolving, always being updated. And that's something to keep in mind too, even with the challenges. The challenges will get updated as well, all the way up until the day. In fact, once that chat is open, you can chat with the people who created the challenges and see, with previous years, they've been able to see the questions other teams are asking to clarify. You're looking for this, or what about this, or is this resource? All those questions are also super valuable. So that stuff will help open up on the night before. But once again, you'd have to be already familiar with the chat and how that works. So we'll walk through that a little bit more next week once it launches for everybody, so we can all see how it works this year. But we're all excited about that too, because that's always another great resource as they continue to update the challenge page with more resources, sometimes a video clarifying.
Yeah, just as Matt mentioned, I would like to share the resource important website, again, the NASA official website of the Space App Challenging. So they contain all the informations and the previous winners and some data, and also you can find all the challenges here, and they have a blog. So at the ending of today's meeting, I would like to share something like, okay, do I need a login? Okay. Oh,
I can share on my side if you like.
sorry.
Oh, you there you go.
Mention about like actually in the March, me, Matt, and our winners team was invited to the NASA's Global Winners Celebration. So we did have a lot of fun. We meet lots of people, and we have some event with the NASA Go teams together. So at that moment, and we also know that NASA, they try to really invite more different kind of person join the Space App Challenging. So it doesn't really have to be really, you are going to be a scientist or something. If you are really interested about space science and try to explore more, you can just be enjoying this hackathon with your team members. And they have all the different scientists in that event. And you can see Matt, you can see Helen here in NASA had hers. We did have a lot of fun there, right, Matt?
Absolutely. It was so much. It was cold, but it was a lot of fun.
You got second place in the competition in museum. You and Helen, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And meet with the people of NASA, different apartment scientists, and also the space fans from globally. So yeah. So just share with everyone here. We would like to enjoy this year's competition, NASA Space Challenging, this biggest hackathon with you guys here, and just let us know if you need more help and any questions. And then we're gonna meet with you next week in the second brief meeting. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.